Guys, what is the one habit of millionaires that you believe is a habit of millionaires that you've actually tried or done or do on a regular basis? I want you to answer that question for me in the comments below and tell me, how has that worked out for you? What are the results of that one millionaire habit that you've actually tried or that you do on a regular basis? Let me know in the comments below. So I want to know what your answer to that question is. On this video, I want to give you the 4 habits of millionaires that I've tried, and I want to give you the results of me trying these millionaire habits. Now, I tried these 4 millionaire habits over the course of many years. And on this video, I just want to share with you what happened when I actually tried these 4 habits and applied them to my own life. So let's jump right into them, guys. The very first millionaire habit that I tried was just consistent investing in the stock market over a long stretch of time. For millionaires, guys, investing in the stock market and seeing their money grow is very, very important to most millionaires. Matter of fact, it's a top priority. It's something that they do, most do, not all, but most do on a regular basis. And they're not borrowing from it or taking loans against it or dipping into it or touching it. They're leaving it alone over long stretches of time. And that's what helps it grow. They invest and they sort of just let it ride. Now for me, guys, I've been doing this for well over 20 years, almost 30 years, investing in my job's 401k or 403b and just not touching it. But honestly, I got bored, I got tired, and I got frustrated quite a bit over those years. And I felt like quitting many times. Guys, when you have a water bill that's due for $100 and over on one side, and then over here, you have $80,000 in the stock market in your job's 401k, that can be a little frustrating because you can't get to that money to pay the water bill, right? It gets frustrating. And over the years, guys, I felt like dipping into my 401k or dipping into my retirement plan money a lot, but I didn't. I had to stay consistent over a long stretch of time and just commit to not ever touching that money. If you want to build wealth, you've got to look long term, down the road. It has to be the year 2024, and you got to be seeing what are the possibilities in the year 2045, way down the road. You got to have some vision. And most millionaires, they're able to look out far into the future and say, you know what, this is what I want down the road, so I'm going to make this sacrifice right now. So the results for me from putting into my job's retirement plans over the last 29 years since 1994 and having stopped maybe a couple of years in between there, right? There were 2 or 3 years that I didn't put anything towards my job's retirement. Now, I didn't withdraw money or pull money out, but the result has been wonderful for me. I've been steady with it. Now, most of my investment over that 29 years hasn't been 15 or 20% of my money. For many years, guys, it was just somewhere between 3 to 5%. For some years, it was 7%. For some years, it was 10%. And over the last several years, it's been more than 15%. So for me over the years, it's been very, very important. This is a millionaire habit that I've adopted, and it's worked really well in my favor towards my wealth building. Because right now, as a net worth millionaire, more than half of my portfolio is in my job's retirement plan. So it worked for me. Now, I would probably have double and triple what I have in there right now if I had been putting 15% or 20% of my money towards that or towards a retirement plan for all these years. But I didn't. I put what I could put, but still, it's worked out well. Hey guys, before I go further with number 2, do me a favor and smash the like button below. If you're a first-time visitor to my channel, please consider subscribing to this channel and sharing the video. And don't forget to drop that comment below. I want to know the 1 millionaire habit that you do or done or have done and how it's worked out for you. All right, now let's get back to number 2. Now, the second millionaire habit that I've tried and the results is millionaires typically have a habit of diversifying their portfolio, diversifying their investments. They don't keep all of their eggs in one basket. They take risk, right? They really do, right? They take risk with their money, but they take educated risk. And they don't wait until they have millions and millions of dollars before they start taking risk and investing. But again, they're educated, calculated risk. In other words, they're not gambling with their money. They're doing the research. They're doing the studying. They're doing the learning and the reading about investments before they invest. Or if they don't like doing all that, they're paying somebody to do the reading and the researching of the investment before they invest. They deal with financial planners and financial advisors to do some of that legwork for them before they invest their money. But they're investing and they're diversifying their investments. They're not all wrapped up into one stock. They're not all wrapped up into just real estate. Now, don't get me wrong, some are, but most millionaires, they're not all in one area. They're in a couple of areas, 2 or 3 or 4 areas where their money is growing in all of those areas. They spread it around to mitigate risk. Now, for me, guys, this meant I had to do a lot of learning on my own because I didn't pay for a financial advisor. I didn't pay for a financial planner to come in and help me with my money. For me, it was a matter of being in real estate and having a retirement plan that was invested in the stock market through my job. Now, along the way, I had side jobs and side businesses, right? I worked at Eddie Bauer. I worked at Dillard selling shoes. I was a salesperson on the sales floor at Circuit City 20 years ago, right? I worked at Home Depot. I did a lot of things on the side. But one of the most important things I did on the side was to get into real estate. Back in 2000, I bought my first piece of rental property. And I bought several properties along the way. Still have a few pieces of rental property today. And so now my portfolio is split between my investments with my job into the stock market for my retirement, but also in the real estate game as well. Guys, last year the stock market was down, way down. But real estate was up, way up. And this year the stock market is up, and maybe real estate may be down, right? But the point is that when you're diversified, you don't get hammered one way or the other because usually what you're diversified in sort of offsets each other. So the results for me for this one was good. Everything worked out swell. But I want to say this, guys, when it comes to your money and becoming a millionaire or doing what millionaires do, you've got to be able to take some risk. Step out on a limb, do some things that you may not be super comfortable with, but you understand, and make that investment. Don't get hampered by fear on your financial journey to financial freedom. Now let's go to number 3. The third millionaire habit that I tried and the results is avoiding debt on depreciating things that go down in value. Millionaires, they don't typically have a whole ton of money, typically, on depreciating assets, things that are going down in value. They typically aren't carrying $50,000 of credit card debt, $250,000 of student loan debt, or $50,000 or $60,000 or $70,000 of automobile debt. Their money is working for them, not against them. Now, for me personally, guys, I was $100,000 in consumer debt at one point. I had $70-something thousand of student loan debt at one point. Today, thankfully, I'm debt free. Don't have those debts, don't have student loan. The only debt I have is the small mortgages I have on a few of my rental properties. But other than that, guys, I'm out of debt. And so I believed in and worked this principle of not investing money into things going down in value a long time ago. I haven't had a car payment since 2011, and I haven't borrowed money since that car payment in 2011. The thing about borrowing money on depreciating items is you can't try to build wealth and get out of debt if you're steady going back into debt on things that are depreciating and going down in value. That's like spinning your wheels, like a hamster in a hamster wheel, right? And for me, I wasn't trying to work on my credit score to build my credit up or use a bunch of credit cards. That wasn't what I did to build wealth. Look, just because you can afford the payment on something, it doesn't really mean that you can afford that something. Sometimes when it comes to depreciating items that you could possibly get a loan for, you've got to be patient and delay some gratification on the things that you want until you actually have the money to pay for the things that you want. Now, this is my philosophy, and it's how I worked this third habit of millionaires in terms of not taking on debt on depreciating items. It's worked for me. Again, I don't use credit cards. I don't care about getting the points on the credit cards so I can have airline miles to fly somewhere that I probably wouldn't have flew to in the first place if I didn't have the credit card points. I just never operated off credit cards. The last credit card I had was probably 2010, maybe towards the beginning of 2011, and I haven't used credit cards since then. I just don't borrow money on depreciating assets, even if it's something as simple as a 30-day loan from a credit card to buy gas for my car. I just don't use credit cards. Haven't used them in many years, and they're not how I built my wealth. I got to where I am with money and with wealth without credit cards. Now, if you choose to use them, that's on you. But for me, this habit of millionaires, of not borrowing money on things going down in value and avoiding debt on depreciating items, it's worked really, really well for me. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, from 2000, when my financial journey began, up until 2010 or 2011, I was using debt. I was using debt on cars and things that are going down in value. I was doing that. But I got away from it. And when I got away from it, my wealth began to build and build and build even more. Now, the fourth millionaire habit that I tried and the results is spending wisely and spending intentionally with my money, tracking what I spent. Millionaires tend to track what they spend and keep up with their expenses. And they tend to do a budget and be sort of organized with their money. And if they don't want to do that, they hire financial planners and financial advisors, like I said earlier, to help them. And they're doing budget and they're tracking their savings and their investments and their income and their expenses. And they basically just pay attention to their money and not just sweep money under the rug because it's uncomfortable to talk about, right? They talk about money, they focus on money, they're intentional with money, they're zeroed in on what they're doing with their money, and they just simply manage money well. Typically, not all, but most millionaires tend to manage money well. And it's part of how they built their wealth on their financial journey to financial freedom. They're just intentional with the money. Now, for me, guys, my results of trying that millionaire habit was I've been actually pretty good with this one. I've done budgets on a regular basis, monthly basis, since 1992. That means I've done over 330 some odd budgets in a row. And when I say budgets in a row, I'm saying monthly budgets. Now, for most of that time, I was writing budgets in a ledger book. Most ledger books would last me a couple of years. Now, for the last 5 years, I've been putting a budget on a spreadsheet. Really simple. Not using a budgeting app, not using a budgeting template, but my own template that's tailored to my own personal finances, my own income and expenses. So the results of me following this millionaire habit has been wonderful for me. I can tell you exactly what I spent in the year 2016 on food. I can tell you exactly what I spent in the year 2012 on utilities, right? Without having to go to a bank statement, I've got it all written out. Now, I'm just nerdy like that, right? But for me, following the millionaire habit of being intentional with money has been wonderful. It's worked very well. And I suggest it to anybody who wants to get better with their money or you're on a financial journey. Track what you spend. Become very, very intentional about your money and focus on your expenses and what you spend your money on, guys. It's been enormous for me. The results of that have been incredible. So hey guys, that's my 4 millionaire habits that I've tried, and all of them have worked really, really well for me. And they were the catalyst to helping me get to where I am right now today with money. Remember guys, millionaires, they typically keep it simple. And for me, I kept it very, very simple. I didn't invest in crypto. I didn't get into Forex trading. I didn't even do options trading. Didn't deal with any hedge funds. No gold, no silver, no precious metal, right? No investing in Silicon Valley startups. None of that. You don't have to learn any of that stuff to become a millionaire. You don't have to learn any of that stuff to build wealth. Trust me, most millionaires, they gain their money through simple things and really through simple habits. Hey guys, if you got anything of value out of this video, please smash that like button for me. Please share this video with someone who you think could probably use and benefit from this information. And don't forget to drop that comment below. I want to hear from you. What's a millionaire habit that you tried? And how did it work out for you? Do me a favor also and check out a few of these videos right here on Millionaire Habits. The best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you. Guys, always take care of yourself and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace!